Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people. Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
The Workers Beat. I'm Gene Lantz and my beautiful assistant,
Bonnie Mathias. Thank you, Gene.
Well, I'm the assistant. 972-647-1893. Get your pencil out and write it down. 972-647-1893. We are the Workers Beat, and we're here to talk about what matters to workers. Here's a bunch of stuff that is going on right now. Block walking is going on with the AFL-CIO at the Letter Carriers Hall, 8451 Endicott Lane in Dallas. Phone banking is going to be 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 1408 North Washington at the second floor. Call Pam Rising-Deese to find out how you can fit into all this. And here is her number. Got your pencil. 214-826-4808. That's the AFL-CIO. 214-826-4808. Actually, you need that number anyway.
Yes.
Because, like, if you decide to organize a union or something,
you need to call that
you
number.
ought to call that number.
That's right.
214-826-4808. Today is the Harambe celebration, celebrating 40 great Sankofa years.
Wow.
Today at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., free admission at the MLK Center, 2922 MLK Boulevard in Dallas. Everybody's invited. El Centro Student Government Association will be hosting their annual March to the Ballot this Monday at noon, October the 27th.
Yay.
To verify your precinct, and if you're a registered voter, you can visit, this is a website, votetexas.gov. Votetexas.gov is how you can check and make sure your voter registration is straight and everything. Search for your name.
And let's remember that even if they tell you your stuff doesn't match and you can't vote, you can cast a provisional ballot and return with a valid photo ID within a certain time period, and your ballot will be cast.
So you can go ahead and vote even if
Yes.
even if you don't have everything straight.
Yes.
Okay, now if you want to check on the propositions and stuff, because they get quite complicated.
Yeah.
If you want to know about this before you go down to vote, go to a website called DallasCountyVotes.org. That is if you live in Dallas.
Right.
There's 9 propositions, and frankly, I didn't know what to do with them. I had to ask my wife what to do. DallasCountyVotes.org. Okay, on the 28th, AFL-CIO leader Mark York encourages activists to come to the Commissioner's Court in the Old School Book Depository. That's downtown on Elm Street, about 700 block Elm Street, maybe 800. The commissioners are expected to discuss Project Phoenix, which is a program to help juvenile offenders get apprenticeships and jobs. A news conference is likely because we expect some developments down there at Commissioner's Court.
So what time is that?
So it starts at 9 a.m.
That's what I thought.
at Commissioner's Court on, isn't that Tuesday, October 28th?
Yes.
Okay, on November the 1st at 9 a.m., the final early vote block walk will not start from the letter carriers. It's going to start from UAW 848, that's my local, 2218 East Main and Grand Prairie. 2 other things that the AFL-CIO is urging us to do. Actually, there's 3 other things the AFL-CIO is urging us to do and get involved in. And I'm going to give you Rosemary Rieger's phone number for all of this, which is 214-632-5695. And I'll repeat that in a minute. The Drive for Democracy, Texas Organizing Project, has got a bunch of people that want to ride to the polls.
800.
It's over 800 people that need a ride to the polls.
Yes.
You got the number for Top?
I'm working on that.
Okay, she's going to get a telephone number for it. Sign up and give someone a lift during early voting from October 20th to the 31st and on Election Day, November the 4th. Giving voters rides to the polls is an effective strategy to winning elections. Next thing, support construction workers and their request for a 10-minute rest break for every 4 hours on the job by joining the Worker Defense Project's Right to Rest campaign. Call your city council member and ask them to support the rest break ordinance. There are also some petitions going around on that. Support our Walmart workers who are asking the community to spend some of their time on Thanksgiving Day, November the 27th, at the Walmart Center in Arlington across from the new Cowboy Stadium, 915 East Randall Mill Road in Arlington. Walmart workers are fighting to get $15 an hour, and they want full-time work instead of little pissy part-time stuff where they don't even know when they're going to work and when they're not. They want health care and benefits and just some respect on the job. Now, for all of that stuff, you can call Rosemarie Rieger from Jobs with Justice. And her number is 214-632-5695. One more time, 214-632-5695.
And I have a number for Top.
Okay, what's the number for Texas Organizing Project? This is for helping people get a ride to the polls.
214-586-0867. That's 214-586-0867.
All right. They're really making a big splash.
That's right. I have two folks dedicated Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
They're going to carry people to the polls?
Carry people to the polls. That's right.
That's a great idea. Now, let's turn to the problems of DART employees. The Dallas Area Rapid Transit has not been treating its employees all that great, and we're pleased to have Albert today with us. Good morning, Albert.
Good morning.
What's your union?
ATU Local 1338.
That's Amalgamated Transit Union 1338?
Yes.
And what kind of problems are you having with DART management?
Right now in Dallas Area Rapid Transit, we're having problems with our health care. They're wanting to increase our health care by
The health care costs.
The health care costs, correct. And they're also wanting to impose an increase for smokers, and they want to not insure the spouses.
Not insure the spouses?
That's correct.
So they're doing, I'm assuming, what a lot of employers are doing. If your spouse has insurance available at their work, they have to take that.
So they're trying to force everybody to be both people in a couple to have jobs.
Right. And I can tell you, a friend of mine just went through this, and she's having, because the benefits are so expensive, she's having to cut her hours at work and become part-time so that she can stay on her husband's insurance, because then she won't be eligible for the benefits at her job.
What they're all saying is, let somebody else pay for your health care. We're not going to, right?
Right.
So this is a big cut.
That's correct.
Cut in your health care, and then they want to raise the cost of your health care.
That's correct.
Yeah. Any other problems?
Some of the other problems we're having with the working conditions, as far as our pre-trip time, DART has reduced our pre-trip time from 15 minutes to 10 minutes, and the purpose for this pre-trip time is to check the safety of the bus. Brakes,
Lights,
horn, and the biggest one in the nation.
It's like when a driver comes on shift, he gets to check out the equipment, right?
Right.
He gets 15 minutes to do that.
Right. And the biggest one is Homeland Security, because, as you know, for the past couple of years, mass transit has been on high alert, and DART has been telling us that we need to check our bus for Homeland Security underneath the wheel wells, because it's
They want to
under
make
the
sure there's not a
seats
bomb somewhere.
right.
But that's a pretty big area to only have 10 minutes. I mean, even
Well, actually,
15
I don't even know
minutes
about
is
15 minutes being
yeah. I mean,
right.
15 minutes is cutting kind of tight, isn't
So
it?
this is just another cut.
That is tight, and not only that, it takes, if your bus is, when you go from the station office, our bus lots are so huge, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to walk from one end of the lot to the other. And we have time to, and it is about 2 to 3 minutes.
I see. So there
you're
really
cutting
eats
off.
into that time.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Well, what do you want people to do about it, Al?
Well, what we're doing is some of these working conditions, and I also want to say that DART only wants to give the hourly employees a 3% raise each year. But what we want our members to do is today at the ATU Union Hall at 5 p.m., we're going to be building our signs at the Union Hall and getting prepared for October 27, 2014. We're going to be doing a picket from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the DART headquarters, Eckerd Station, And also on October 28th, 2014, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we're also going to protest the.
So you're going to get out in public. You're going to get in front of the management's office.
Correct.
And you want people to come down?
Yes, we want people to come help, public and all.
10 o'clock in the morning, and this is both Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
But you're going to be doing it. They don't have to stay the whole time, do they? I mean, like you said, from 10 to what?
10 to 2, and every
10 to
little
2,
minute will
4
help.
hours.
If you can come out and just give us about 30 minutes, an hour, that would be great.
During your lunch break or something?
During your lunch break,
Sure.
whatever. Our drivers, our members that have split shifts, we understand that you work, but if you can come and devote 30 minutes to an hour to help with this protest, that will be great. Every little bit counts.
And this is for them.
Right.
We're, pardon me. You guys aren't just doing this just because. This is for your members.
Right.
You want your members, and this is one of the advantages that Gene and I talk about all the time about belonging to a union. You have a bigger voice because you have a collective voice rather than just a few of you standing out there with picket signs going, hey, we want more.
Right.
Yeah, Bonnie, and there was another reason why I was especially eager to try to get these guys from the ATU 1338 on. But it's because the riders have a big investment in public transportation, and especially older people. We have a big investment in public transportation. It matters to us whether or not the drivers are happy, and whether or not the buses are taken care of, whether or not the maintenance people are able to take care of those buses. We want them to have time to check and make sure there's not a bomb stuck underneath the bus, and to make sure that the bus can get there on time and give us a good ride.
And the brakes are working, and
So this is a big investment from the whole public to make sure that the transit system works for the people that ride on it, as well as for those who work for the transit system. So we're very, very interested. We have a big public interest in this, and that's why it's important not only to come down to your picket and meet the men and women of the DART employees, but also to come to the DART board. And that's Tuesday night, isn't it?
Tuesday night, 6 o'clock in the evening time.
They let people speak. It's kind of like city council where you have to sign up and that sort of thing.
Right.
Because I remember I spoke at one of them one time.
Right.
And this is an opportunity for people to stand up, not just for the interests of their fellow workers, but also to stand up for themselves, because public transportation matters to all of us.
That's right. And there's also in November on the election, on the ballots, we have Congress is going to be faced with a bill. It's called the Transportation Bill. And if we don't encourage our congressmen to pass this bill, we're going to be in the world of trouble. Not just Dallas Area Rapid Transit, but transit in the nation, period, if they don't pass this bill. So we need to get out there and talk to our pastors about moving transit in the right direction, getting Congress men and women to support public transit, not private transit. And when I say private transit, we don't want the First Transits out there or the Veolias. We want the agency itself.
Right. We don't want somebody making money off this.
Right.
We want the public to take care of it.
Right.
And which proposition is this on the ballot? Do you know?
It's the transportation bill. I'm not sure what the proposition is, but it is the
Prop 1.
It's
Prop
number
1?
one on the Dallas ballot.
Yes, on the Dallas ballot,
It might
it's
be
number
might be
one.
another number
Right.
on some other county.
I actually think it's...
We're
it's,
talking to people in 9 counties here.
Okay, I think it's Prop 1 on across the state.
Oh, you think so?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and this is now. What's your position on that? Should we vote for it or against it?
We need to vote for this transportation bill.
Yes.
It's very important.
That's proposition
this will
1.
bring in,
Then.
yeah.
You're saying vote for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and how's that going to help us?
It's going to help us get better security for the buses. It's going to help us get for the passengers. It's going to bring in more routes, revenue for the routes. It's going to bring in bus shelters, get that bus stop up right next to where the passenger is trying to get picked up at, so he or she don't have to walk a mile to get to that bus stop.
Is this going to help with toll roads? Does this mean? Is this one way to fight against privatization of everything? Like toll roads, for example, if we vote yes on this proposition, are we less likely to get slapped with all kinds of fines and extra payments as we move around?
No, you won't be slapped with no extra fines if you vote for the transportation bill.
Okay, so it's a good bill for us, huh?
Voting in general is a way to fight back.
Yeah, that's a true fact.
And we have got to remember that the Republicans are waiting for us to not turn out to vote. They're waiting for people to say, my vote doesn't count. Your vote counts, and we have to all get out there and vote. And this proposition is a very important issue on the state ballot. Very important.
Okay, you can call us at 972-647-1893. Leon's already calling us. Good morning, Leon. Thanks for calling KNON.
Good morning. I got a couple of things I want to ask about since you have a representative from Dart on now.
Okay.
First of all, what can you do to get with the city to get them to pave the bus lane that's going through downtown?
Pave the bus lane that's going on through downtown. Okay, let's ask Al about that.
Well, if you have an issue with the bus lane downtown, like I said, that would be an issue that you need to bring to the DART Board of Directors. And again, that meeting is this Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the evening time, and you will have the opportunity. You can sign up to speak and talk to the board about that, paving that bus lane downtown.
6 o'clock Tuesday, where's it at, Al?
At the DART headquarters at the Ackert station.
Is that 1401 Pacific?
Yes, it is.
Okie doke. Leon, what do you think? Is that the answer you wanted?
That's a start. And the second thing I want to talk about is I work on a committee with the Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance, and we are trying to get them to. They give a 50% discount to people for a monthly bus pass that have TANF, which is a state program for people. I can't remember what the acronym
TANF
is.
Go ahead.
TANF. Okay, and what we're trying to get is that discount for people who are verifiably staying at a homeless shelter. And what the idea of this is to provide homeless people with an opportunity to get transportation to and from job interviews, medical appointments, etc. And at the same time, it alleviates a lot of the controversy when they try to catch the bus and they don't have a bus pass. So we would like to see if we can get the bus union to see if they can help us get this pushed through, because it's going to take a lot of pressure off the driver if the homeless person has their bus pass, and they don't have to come on there and they don't have to argue about whether they don't have bus fare or not. Because if you've ever seen that happen before, it happens quite often.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to let Al take
Leon.
that up after this break, though, because they're already playing the music. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Here we are.
972-647-1893 is the number. We had a caller on named Leon who wanted to know about homeless discounts. And, of course, the answer is go to the DART board meeting, which is Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, 1401 Pacific. We were talking with Al a while ago. We got Christian on now. Christian, you're also a member of the same union, right?
Yes, sir.
That's Amalgamated Transit Union 1338. And you guys are picketing on Monday and Tuesday?
Yes, sir. We're picketing Monday and Tuesday at the DART headquarters at 1401 Pacific Avenue between the time of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And you're inviting people to come down and help you out?
Yes, sir. We're inviting the public out here to come in and show their support consistent of what we do, because we're here to serve them. Our main objective is to provide good transportation for our public, and the issues that we have consistent of our DART is poor working conditions, inequitable wage increase, and we feel like it could be a whole lot better than what it is. And DART need to hear our concerns consistent of these issues.
Now, Bonnie wants to clear it up just exactly who you represent. Okay, Bonnie?
Right. These guys are not here representing DART, okay? They work for DART. They don't
run DART.
They don't run DART. They represent the union, Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 1338, that represents the drivers and I don't know
maintenance.
And maintenance.
All employees.
All employees for DART. So and if you got to complain about DART, I seriously encourage you to go to this DART board meeting.
And not only DART, we got the POE, MV employees. We got Denton County also. So we represent a great deal of people.
Okay, tell people what POE is?
Them are the contract service, the handy-ride services.
Okay, so like the MBA.
You guys not happy with the way they run that, are you?
No, sir. Them employees are well underpaid. And working conditions are humongous. Yeah, humongous.
Horrible.
And our thing is trying to get DART to do what's right, and not because we ask. It's because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So your complaint is with DART management, and you're trying to get decent coverage. You guys actually get contracts, or do you just get an agreement, or what?
We get an agreement. Mm-hmm. Meet and confer, and with the contract services, them are contracts.
So meet and confer is not the same thing as negotiating a contract, and and the reason that you don't have negotiating a contract is because of state laws.
Correct.
You know, and Texas has a bunch of anti-worker state laws, and one of them is that public employees cannot organize and negotiate contracts.
Correct.
But you do have meet and confer, and you get an agreement. How long does the agreement usually last?
The last few years has been one. Going into this term now, we're looking for a 3-year agreement.
You're trying to get a 3-year agreement, but you've been in the past having 1-year agreements?
1-year agreement, and it's been frustrating because year in and year out, you're going in and you're doing the same thing. You're fighting a fight that normally would take 3 years to do, and we're doing it a year.
Yeah, you're in constant negotiations because as soon as you finish with your contract, you got to start getting ready to negotiate another one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And our presiding president, Mr. Kennedy, did this man go far and beyond, his job description. He goes in and out of state to learn consistent and to better mobilize us and to better give good information to the employees and to the union.
He's a good man. I've known him for a long time.
Very good man. Very good man.
Knew him even before I knew he was the president. That's kind of weird.
He has a hard job. He
does have a hard job.
He has a lingering job. We're in the union hall 24/7, 7 days a week. Our motto over there is ATU all day, every day.
That's right.
Is that a fact?
That's good.
You mean the union
great.
officers are in the union hall all the time?
Yes, sir.
That's because you have workers working all night.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you got 24/7.
So they can call their union hall anytime.
They can call there anytime.
But most unions don't do that. Most unions keep office hours.
We 24/7. You can call any one of us if we don't answer, leave a message, and as soon as we can, we'll get back with you.
On your union, Bonnie, I know my union, which is a auto workers union. We have people working all hours, but we don't stay at the union hall all day.
We also have 24/7 shifts in quite a few jurisdictions, and we don't have somebody at the hall 24/7. But our chief stewards, they are on call.
They're on call
24/7.
Yeah, well, we have that.
Yeah, but
we have that. The chairman is on call all the time.
Right.
If you're working, if there's a certain number of people working at midnight, then he's working too. In other words, he's on call. But I never heard of a union hall that stayed open all the time, Christian.
Well, technically the union hall is not open all night long, but the members, as far as representing DART and representing all the employees, we're there fighting the issues consisting of DART and POE and Denton County. We there almost 24/7.
And that is 24/7.
Huh? Yes, sir. The issues that have been brought up to us. We look at the thing that we give our families up to provide for the families of our employees and then for the passengers.
And you mentioned President Kenneth Day. I'll tell you what I like about Kenneth Day, and I look for this in all the union leaders. I want to see if they're open to working with everybody else.
Amen.
Because in the past, I'm talking about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was unions were very isolated.
That's right.
And some of it was their own fault because they didn't want other people messing around in their business. And now all the unions are the progressive unions, and the progressive union leaders like Kenneth Day are turning around and saying, look, if other people have an interest in what we're doing, then they need to be able to have some say-so too.
That's
and
right.
They need to be able to participate. So you're not just holding a picket on Monday, Christian. You're actually inviting people to come down and join you.
We're inviting the public, first and foremost the public, because everything we do, it takes care of them. Everything we do, it supports them. We got issues with the 206 route, and we got issues with the 278. You got passengers that complaining about getting downtown. They're not worried about the traffic and the construction. Their issues being brought to work in a timely manner. Right. Now, what DART need to do is put more buses. Put more buses on them lines to where we can just cater to the passengers as we always have and always will be able to do.
So that is so true.
So the employees which is what you represent, really want to have the best possible service.
Oh yes, sir. We get the I don't want to say the slag, but we get the envy consistent of the public when they feel like we're always late, and they don't understand what we have to go through as far as trying to get them in within a safely manner.
The public tends to blame the driver.
Blame the driver because they don't know to go to DART and make the issue. See, the drivers can go to DART all day and tell them the issues, but if the public don't come in and show their support and show their concerns, then it's always going to be, because DART is not going to pay attention to the drivers, but they will pay attention to the public.
Right.
So that's the reason why we're doing this picket on the 27th and 28th between 9 and 2, and then at DART on Tuesday evening at the board at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And you can come in and make your comments and make your concerns, and it's a big issue. It's a big deal because DART does pay attention to that.
972-647-1893 is the number. If you have an opinion or a question, we've got Christian here from the ATU Local 1338, and we're talking about the way that the employees of the Dallas Area Rapid Transit are treated and what kind of hopes we have for them to be able to be treated better. 972-647-1893, and Joshua's on the phone. Good morning, Joshua. Thanks for calling KNON.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I understand that the DART employees are struggling with their being forced to pay higher premiums for health care and other bad working conditions. I thought I should have a look at the DART president and see how much he makes.
Ooh.
And according to this is a Dallas Morning News 2012 article, he had just gotten a raise to make $300,000 a year.
He makes $300,000.
Correct.
In 2012, he did, and then the article in the Dallas Morning News also says, "Oh, my computer just went crazy." Oh, here it goes. It said there are 90 six-figure salaries at DART. So there are 90 people working for DART who make six-figure salaries, and yet management is trying to.
So
squeeze.
six figures, that's in the hundreds of thousands.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Wait a
So
minute,
that's a bit
Christian.
of- yeah.
You don't make $300,000 a year.
Oh no. We're well underpaid. Well underpaid.
Oh my goodness! Well, see, that's not right. How did 90 people at DART get to make over $100,000? And I'm betting not one of them drives a bus.
Go ahead, Joshua. What else did you find out?
Well, that was it, mate. I just wanted to contribute a little bit of more information there. I hope you all have a good morning.
Hey, appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Joshua.
All right.
So they're making the big bucks, and then they're trying to cut you guys down.
Oh, yes, sir. And with the MV and POE employees, you know, they making between $12 to $16 an hour, 12 to 16, and DART looking to cut the fat off the employees' back. Yeah, we might be the hog that provided the bacon, but my thing is, don't cut the fat off the employees' back.
No.
We're the hog that provides the bacon.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. But it doesn't really make that much difference how much money a person makes per hour if they get it right back on health care.
You're correct.
Because, you know, like Social Security is going to get a tiny little raise in January, 1.7% raise, and they have not yet told us how much they're going to increase the cost of Medicare. Every year the retirees get a small raise in Social Security most years, and then they raise Medicare even more. So it looks like you're making progress, but you're not.
Oh no. We got a long way to go.
And if they raise your health care payments, what are they going to raise, your co-pays or your deductibles or what?
Let's say my family insurance will probably go up over $300 every 2 weeks.
Ay, ay, ay.
$300 every 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
$600 a month.
Yes, sir.
How much is it now?
It's about $240.
About $240. So that's a pretty big jump.
Yes, sir.
So if they gave you like a $1 raise, and then they're going to cut $60 on your health care payments.
Correct.
That is not. You're not making progress. 972-647-1893. Call us and let us know your opinion. JD is on line 1. Good morning. Thanks for calling KNO.
Good morning. Yes, I'm one of the employees of POE, and I'm very proud that Mr. Christian is there representing us, because very much what he's saying is accurate. We are overworked, underpaid, and we do get a lot of complications from the passengers, because they think that it's us, and it's not. It started with Joy. So actually, I was just calling to the station because this is one of my stations. He was on there, so I'm very happy about that.
Good deal. Good deal.
And I hope that he continue to speak out for us because, like he said, that DART don't listen to us. So we definitely need more buses to pick up passengers to get them there to speak out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They say the company don't listen when a union squawks, but they have to listen when the union talks.
All day, every day.
Yeah, that's pretty much sure. So I kindly appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you, Miss
Excellent.
JD.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling KNON.
And that's one of the young ladies from POE, and I think it's consistent in them. DART since they went over from Viola to POE, they adopted this fixed route. Say you got a bus to go out there to pick up a handicapped or disabled, and you got 2 or 3 people at one location. Instead of them picking up all 2 or 3 people at one time,
They pick up one.
they pick up one.
Oh, I only dispatch for one.
But here's the thing: the employees that drives and knows the people, they wants to pick them up.
I know.
They calls in and say, "Hey, can I pick them up?" And DART
they're told
tell them
no.
no.
That's
because
right.
the simple fact, DART get paid consistent of fixed. So in order for them to get paid, they rather lead them 2 people there, go in, just pick up just one, and send another vehicle to pick them up instead of picking up all 3 and they all
Because
go
of
to
the
the
way
3
they get
locations.
paid.
Yes, sir.
And this happens almost every week at my church.
This is every day.
And as Miss
Yeah.
JD said, everybody blames the driver.
Everybody
Yeah.
When
blames
in
driver.
fact, it's the DART management that's setting these policies.
Yes, sir.
So they ought to come to the DART board meeting on Tuesday and talk to them instead of cussing out the drivers.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what Alan has to say. Alan, thanks for calling KNON.
Yes, thanks for taking my call. I'd like to bring up a point that's a response to an earlier caller talking about the CEO of DART making pretty good money. I also read a newspaper article that said that he had a $148,000 bonus just recently. And I wonder, what are bonuses for? Is that for doing a better job or for doing a good job? Because as far as I can tell, all DART employees do a really good job every day. And I know they're not getting good bonuses, or we wouldn't be hearing all this talk. I also know that DART is one of the largest transportation companies in the country because I did a little bit of Google research, and the other companies from other states like to tour DART and visit DART. And, DART does a lot of promotional advertising and stuff like that. And a company that does that is obviously growing and good in size. I remember back in the day when DART was nothing. You hardly even heard anything about them. So obviously they're doing real good on the top third. Why don't they spread the wealth and share the love with everyone that's pulling the wagon?
So they got a big bonus. Is that true, Christian?
Yes, sir. And the sad thing about it is the employees. You're looking at the majority of the employees doesn't get a SIP, a service incentive pay. When you got less than half the employees that they get it, that's been there 20 or 30 years or more, and then you're looking at the employees that's coming in now that's been anywhere from a year to 15 years that doesn't get a SIP. And it's mind-boggling how you can separate the employees from each other. You get employees at the end of the year around December that'll get a SIP pay. You got the same people that's sitting right beside them that do the day in and day out each and every day, and they doesn't get one because DART felt like let's keep them divided.
So you might know this next caller. His name is Kenneth. Good morning, Kenneth. Thanks for calling KNON.
Yes, sir. That's our president.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? I certainly appreciate you all airing these issues that we have at DART and the concern we want to share and for the public that we serve every day.
Kenneth Day, are you going to be at the DART board meeting on Tuesday night?
Absolutely. Provided God allow me to be here, I will be there.
So if people want to actually meet the president of the Amalgamated Transit Union 1338, they can come down to the DART board and actually shake your hand.
I encourage them to come down. I will be there.
That is great. Are you think Christians representing what your local thinks about on these issues concerning the employees?
I tell you, I've been listening to you, and all of you have brought up valid points and brought up valid issues. And one of the sad things, I know DART is telling us they have already signed off on their budget in every year, but reminds me of when they hired the paratransit contractor to come in, and they came in and they did a lowball bid, which is custom for paratransit contractors. They go in and lowball a bid, and a year later into the contract, they come in and say, hey, we need more money. We need adjustment. And DART did MV did the same thing. They came in, lowball their bid. Less than a year, they came back and say, hey, we didn't bid enough. We're not bringing in the revenues we thought we'd bring in.
Yeah, after they got the deal.
Yeah.
After they got the deal. And DART went in and and renegotiated their contract. They got a $186 million contract over 5 years. $186 million. Those taxpayers' dollars. Taxpayers deserve better. Employees deserve better.
And you think the union will stick up for the rights of the employees as well as the riders and the public and people that need transportation?
Absolutely. Those riders are the ones that pay the employees' salaries. And we have to support them. And this is a time that we're asking that they come and support us and help us support their issues, because we definitely have a concern for their issues. The taxi cabs that DART has hired to do the paratransit contract service mistreat the employees, drop them off in the alley, leave them, drop them off at home, and nobody's there to greet them. These are the most vulnerable riders that DART serve are being treated like that.
And that's being treated that way by a privatized organization.
Yes, sir.
By privatized organization. Our bus costs whatever bus costs. Fuel costs whatever fuel costs. So when agencies contract, and in this case where DART contract out, it's on the backs of the employees.
In general, I think unions, let me just check this with you since I got the president of the union on here. In general, isn't it true that unions oppose privatization?
Absolutely. Privatization is some rich fat cat guy comes in and bids the contract and they makes money off of it. It's not the interest of the business. In the case of DART, it's not the interest of the public that we serve. They're in the business to make a dollar.
Yep, there you go.
And they don't actually care whether they get good service or not.
Absolutely. The example I gave about the taxi cab, these are live examples. It was an article in the newspaper where DART fined their contract over $25,000 for poor performance. And in spite of that, they still increased their contract.
Is that a fact? So they fined them and then they gave them more money?
Yep.
Then it gave them more money and make excuses for them.
All right, Kenneth Day, we have to take a break. We'll be right back. 93 is the number. Kenneth Day is still on the line, and Al Durla from the union is here talking with Kenneth Day. Brother Day, we were talking about whether or not you're going to be at the DART board meeting on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, and you said you'd welcome people to come down and shake your hand.
I welcome folks to come down and shake our hand. I welcome folks to come and walk with us on the picket line on Monday and Tuesday from 10 to 2. I welcome folks to come in and stand before the DART board of directors and state all of our grievances. Whatever your concerns are, if it's the taxi cab drivers driving and smoking, if it's the buses running late, if you're not getting enough service, we will stand with you.
All right. That's Kenneth Day, the president of the local. Al, you want to add anything?
Just come on down. We're going to do some sign building today at the HU Union Hall at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. And again, like President Day said, October 27, 2014, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the DART headquarters station, the Acker station, we'll be doing a picket. And on Tuesday, October 28, 2014, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll be doing a picket at the Acker station, as well as 6 p.m. at the DART Board of Directors.
You call it the Acker station, but it's 1401 Pacific's the address.
Correct.
Okay, that's because it's actually so big, it actually stretches for more than one street.
Right.
Robert's online. Let's see what Robert has to say. Thanks for waiting, Robert. Thanks for calling KSM.
Yes, good morning. This is Robert Petrie.
Good morning.
DART is building a new station at University Hills, right to UNT, right adjacent to UNT. And they're going to put that station on a septic tank system, and there will be no restroom. Now, with the distance from, if you go on the DFW and you get on that DART train, are you expected to not use the restroom before you get to DFW? I mean, you know, in 2016 is when the station is supposed to be completed, and DART is that station is going to be on a septic tank system where no restrooms will be there for the public. And I just don't understand that. And DART is saying, well, New York, they don't have restrooms, but they have restrooms in different parts of the city.
Yeah. So they're building this station to carry the UNT students. So this
it's for southern Dallas County. I mean, people in Lancaster, DeSoto, anyone that want to ride that train.
This is the extension of the Blue Line.
Right.
Okay.
But no restrooms.
What do you think about that, Al?
Well, that is a big issue in DART right now. When DART builds these stations, they're not putting restrooms in the stations, and we have been encouraging our passengers. One of the issues you need to do is, again, October 28th at 6 p.m., approach your DART board of directors. You can sign up to speak to your board of directors.
This is not a decision that the employees made or that the union made.
This is a decision that DART's made, and they don't put. They only put the restrooms at the end of the line, and that's all. But they need restrooms at stations in between as well.
But this is the end of the line. This here is the extension of the Ledbetter station going south. So this where this would be the station that would accommodate people from Lancaster and other cities, even though they may not be part of DART, these cities. These riders need to get to the other side of town, and it's cheaper to get on the train than the wear and tear and the gasoline costs to go to Plano and other parts of the city. So it should be convenient for the ridership to have a restroom, because if you need to use the restroom, why do you use the restroom?
Yeah.
You're going to use the restroom either on the train or somewhere outside of that train, and that's not good for the public.
No. It's certainly not. I know, and there's a little tinge of racism in this too, because you say that they do have restrooms at other stations, right?
Right.
And you know what color almost everybody's going to be using that south one.
Black and brown.
That's right.
This reminds me,
and you're correct. And see, this is what black folks got to realize, that these folks is taking advantage of you. They're going to put it on a septic tank system. You know why they're putting it on a septic tank system?
Why?
Because
Save
they
money.
ran sewer to it.
That's
Those
right.
landowners that own land, like us at Skyline Ranch, would be able to tap into that main sewer line and develop our property. See, and that's why it's on a septic tank system. So DART is part of the conspiracy with the city of Dallas
to try to keep from getting service in the southern sector.
And I live in Pleasant Grove. I understand what you're saying, and it's just not. It's poor people. It's not just black folks. It's black, brown, white. I mean, if you're poor, you're screwed. That's it.
That's
right.
They don't give you much slack.
Black folks have become the most vulnerable one because they don't stand. They don't stand up. See, when you don't stand up, people will mistreat you and do you any kind of way.
Now, Mr. Petrie, let me ask you this, just on strategy. Do you think that it's a good idea for people who live in the southern sector to engage with the employees at DART on these issues and try to get the best possible service?
Sure. I mean, DART, they've been standing up for us as riders. We need to stand up with the union, and we need to stand up together.
That's right.
I invite you to come down on Monday and Tuesday to our 1401 Pacific at the Actor Station DART headquarters, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Tuesday, 6 p.m. the Board of Directors, and stand up and fight with us.
Now, Mr. Petrie represents a lot of interest in the southern sector, and he's a champion of the people who live in the southern sector. So maybe he ought to call the union sometime, just see if there's some strategies that they could work out together.
Yes.
I would be glad to, and like to meet as soon as possible to talk about these issues that the union have, talk about the issues that affects the community, and it would be best for the overall city.
I encourage you to call the ATU Union Hall. The number is 214-828-1641. 214-828-1641, and speak to President Business Agent Kenneth Day.
Yep.
Okay. You got that, Brother Petrie?
Appreciate it.
All right, we might have made some real progress.
That's right.
This is, when people get together, they can't be stopped.
That's
they say, what does it go? How does it go? The people united will never
be defeated.
So when we hook up, when we start working together, we can start to win things. And
that's right.
That's why I'm so happy with this union, because they are open to working with other people like Mr. Petrie and others.
And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Robert Petrie.
Robert, Petrie. I encourage you, if you'd like to, you can come to our union hall and help us build signs for this protest today at 5 p.m. We're located at 1111 Empire Central Place, Dallas, Texas, 75247. That's today at 5 p.m.
Sounds good. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
brother. Thanks for calling KNON. And the number is 972-647-1893. The lines are kind of hot right now, but I don't want anybody to have to wait. Russell's on line 1. Good morning, Russell. Thanks for calling KNON.
Well, thanks for taking my call. Listen, I've worked for DART for probably since the early 2000s, and DART had a real strong reputation of taking real good care of their people. Mm-hmm. And that they created a persona, and not only in their neighborhood, but in their employee body of being one of the best places to work and one of the best companies to provide you transportation services. Now, they maintain that reputation still, and they've continued to grow and buy state-of-the-art equipment, but they have refused to continue to provide that level of care to their own employee body. And DART has a real good plan in place. They find a way to hire real good people. And as most of us know, you can take a good person and ride them like a horse for quite a while before they start squawking. And what's sad to me is to watch this happen over the last 15 years. If this company would take advantage of the people they've hired, knowing that they can push these people over and over, take more and more while getting more and more, and continue to be the leader in the industry, having one of the greatest reputations, yet somehow come up with these propaganda plans where they can actually display an image that shows that they're one of the best when actually they're actually slipping backwards right now. And there are a lot of good people still hanging on, but wondering what the heck is going on. Your upper third is still growing. Your overall company is still growing, but how come we're not? The rest has really changed over the last 5 to 7 years. You still haven't made good on a commitment you made a long time ago. And don't tell me ridership is down. They had to shut the state fair down Friday evening because too many people were showing up.
That's right. They sure did. They shut it down at 10 o'clock.
You know, they say one thing. It's a lot like what we see all over the nation. They say one thing. They promote and they advertise one thing, while the left hand is doing something completely different right in front of you. And, you know, they need to realize what kind of people they've got in their employee body. These loving, caring, devoted people who will do the best for them and continue to keep them at number one on top. And they need to understand that no matter how far your trail ride is, never forget to feed and water your horses.
That's great. That's great.
Feed and water your horses.
I really want the public to know that without them, we wouldn't have a job, and every one of us understand that. And we're not just everyday people. DART goes through a real tough scrutinizing process before they hire you. So I'm going to tell you safely, 9 out of 10 people that work for DART are very good people. They've been through, intense background checks. Everything they've said on the way in was double and triple checked. They're always scrutinized as far as their behavior goes. DART maintains a real strong employee body that have a tendency to bond with one another no matter where they're from, what country, what language they speak, how they grew up. It doesn't matter. And they're good at doing that. But why do they continue to pack more and more weight onto those backpacks while lightening the load on the upper echelon downtown? I just don't get it. In 1 week they'll tell you we're out of money. The next week they'll hire 2 executives.
And give them a big bonus, too.
I'd like to say that Russell is one of our union representatives out of our rail maintenance facility, and he's a good guy. I've been knowing him for years.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've been here for a while. I've seen it really, really change. And my wife was reminding me the other day. She said, when you hired on, you took an $8 an hour cut just to go to DART. I said, I remember that. She said, remember why you did that? It was because of benefits. It wasn't the pay; it was the benefits. Right. And now they can't even compete in the marketplace with their benefits. If you go out and do your own query of other rail agencies in the nation that compare in size and technology to DART, you'll find that DART's pay is moving backwards, and that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to buy the common argument that we hear all over the nation these days. Well, I can't do it while my left hand does it. I'm just not buying it. I know that there's something else going on, and I wish that a third-party agency would come in and really look and see how much the numbers are being fudged here, because everybody knows there's some hiding that can be done here and may possibly be happening. I'm just begging for more, and I know they've got it.
Yep. Thank you, Russell. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm
still
there. There's a lot of people still hanging in. We're not going anywhere, but we just don't know why they continue to do what they do.
We just have to keep fighting them. That's the terrible part.
It is. Gone on for years, never saying anything anyone in any form at all. Good people are quiet. You can slap a good person down for quite a while before they say anything to anyone. That's why some relationships remain together even though they're abusive. This is how good people behave. And it's just sad for me to see DART continue to treat good people this way, knowing they can get away with it. I don't, whatever. It's not right. And for the first time in a long time, we're tired, and we want to start letting people know that they're not treating us good. And there's no excuse for it.
That's Russell, right. Are you advocating that people come down and join you?
You know, without the people's support and without DART having to answer questions, prove and justify that they have to do what they do. You know, what the right hand is saying. Yeah. We won't be able to know really what the left hand is doing. I think it's time to put them up, make them stand up, make them show what they can or can't do, and have them begin to answer some questions for the first time in a very long time. They're very good, like most of us, of handling their business in such a way where nobody ever asks any questions.
Right.
And the way it is in my house is, as long as everybody's happy, there's no question as to what's going on in my home.
Yeah.
But for the first time in a long time, we really do need people to take a really stronger look as to how DART's being managed and how they're managing their money and their people. Because I know they can do better. I've been here long enough to see it. And I know they've got a really strong core group running this company. And the backbone of the company, us, the people that work by the hour, and some of the lower salaried people who manage the operations of the company are also very reliable, very strong, hard-working people that care. So this company is so capable, yet claims to be incapable. It doesn't make any sense, and I invite everyone to come down to the board meeting, join us, let's get together. We don't have to rant and rave. We don't have to raise any cane. Just coming together will show that this is an important matter. And we don't hardly ever have to do this. Texas doesn't have a rich heritage of union activism because it normally don't have to go to that level. In Texas, people normally listen to each other, and word of mouth matters. Well, that's what I'm saying. Come down, let's share our ideas and our concerns. I'm sure the concerns of the employee bodies, the employee body at DART, and the public are very, very much the same.
Absolutely.
We want the best service, the best products, the best treatment.
All right. Russell, we appreciate very much your calling KNON. You can call KNON too at 972-647-1893. What's that note you have, Bonnie?
I mentioned provisional ballots earlier. If for some reason you go to the polls and they tell you you can't vote, maybe your ID does not match your voter registration card exactly, you can vote. You must ask for a provisional ballot. They will allow you to vote, and you have a certain number of days to provide that ID so that your ballot will be counted.
So go ahead and vote the provisional ballot.
Vote that provisional ballot. It's very important. Do not let them tell you that you cannot vote. That is not true.
Now, the Amalgamated Transit Union we're talking about today, among other things, has been working their buns off with the rest of the labor movement to get people to vote. We had 2 rallies on Monday, which were excellent. Dolores Huerta was at one of them, the great farm worker legend. And it's working. The thing I'm so proud of is, according to Ed Sills of the AFL-CIO, he checked with the Secretary of State, and it found out that the turnout in the 15 most populous counties on the first day of early voting was up 35% from the first vote day of the 2010 election cycle. That's what they compare it to, because that was the last time that we had what they call a midterm election. Up 35%.
64% across the state, I think.
And the first day total was 178,000 in 2010, and it was 240,000 in 2014, which is a big step up. And it said most of the gain came from the efforts to get mail-in votes, which I'm very proud of that, because that's what I've been working on mostly with the Alliance for Retired Americans, is to get people that are over 65 or disabled to vote by mail, and it's working. We are getting the kind of turnout that makes it possible to have some reform in the state of Texas.
That's right.
We don't know yet if it's going to happen, but I appreciate very much, and I think I'll check with Albert Derla about that. Is it not true that the Amalgamated Transit Union is urging everybody to practice their democracy and get out and vote?
Yes, it is true.
Because I've seen you out there knocking on doors, and other ATU members have been turning out for that.
Right.
So The elections are very important to everybody, not just to me and Bonnie, but also to Amalgamated Transit Union 1338 and to you.
And the polls are open today. The polls are open tomorrow. This is the only weekend that we have for early voting. The only weekend. Mm-hmm. So you have to vote today or tomorrow or sometime.
If you're going to do it on the weekend.
If you're going to do it on the weekend or sometime between Monday and Friday, you are allowed to vote at any early voting location in your county.
Which is most government offices.
Yes.
And very early voting goes on to November 1st, doesn't it?
No, early voting is over Halloween.
It's over on the night
October
of the 31st.
That's
okay.
right.
All right. So when you go trick or treating, you are through early voting, and then we have to ask people to vote on November
on
4th.
Tuesday.
And they might have to stand in line to do that.
Yeah.
Too.
Right.
So Al, what's your final word now? We're getting close to the end of the show. What is it that you would like to see people do about the situation for DART employees?
I would like for them to come down on October 27th and the 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Show your support at the DART headquarters, 1401 Pacific, and at the board meeting at 6 p.m. because you remember ATU.
That's 6 p.m. Tuesday.
6 p.m. Tuesday because ATU, we are one with the membership and the general public. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Al and Christian, for being with us from Amalgamated
Yes,
1338. And thanks to everyone who listened. Me and Bonnie will be back next week.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people. Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.